Have you ever looked up one day and thought, how did I get here? Maybe you built a life around other people's needs, like your partner, your job, your family, your responsibilities. And somewhere along the way, you disappeared from your own life. If that resonates with you, you're not alone. In fact, it happens to a lot of women, especially the ones who care deeply. But today I want to talk about why women lose themselves and how you can reclaim your power. Hi, I'm Stacy, founder of Empower Her Care, where we talk about feminine power, self-care, mindset, designing a life that actually feels aligned. On this channel, we're going to explore things like feminine energy, self-care rituals, mindset and manifestation, creativity and entrepreneurship, and how women can build their lives to be powerful and intentional. But I want to start with this topic because almost every transformation begins here. The moment when a woman realizes, I've been living for everyone else, and now it's time to come back to myself. So first, let's talk about why women lose themselves. There are a few reasons this happens, and none of them mean you're weak. In fact, they usually happen because women are strong, empathetic, and capable. But those very qualities lead us to overextend ourselves. One, we're conditioned to be caretakers. Now, from a very early age, women are often taught that our values come from how much we give, how much we support, we nurture, we problem solve, we hold everything together. And those qualities are beautiful. But the problem is, no one teaches women how to care for themselves with the same devotion. We pour out and pour out and pour out until we are completely empty ourselves. Two, we adapt to keep relationships. Another reason why women lose themselves is because we're incredibly adaptable. In relationships, we often ask, how can I make this work? So how we can compromise, we adjust, we shrink certain parts of ourselves to maintain harmony. But if we do that for too long, one day we realize we're living inside a version of ourselves that no longer feels authentic. Three, we get caught up in survival mode. Life always has a way of pulling us into survival mode. We've got bills, responsibilities, careers, family obligations, and suddenly life comes about managing everything instead of living intentionally. So when you're trying to keep everything afloat, it's easy to forget to ask, what do I really want? And so the turning point here has to be this powerful truth. Losing yourself doesn't mean you're broken. It usually means you're ready for the next evolution. Because the moment you notice it, the moment you feel that discomfort, that's actually the beginning of your awakening. When a woman starts asking deeper questions like, who am I now? What do I actually want? What does my life look like when I choose myself? And one of the ways to reclaim our power is we start coming back to ourselves. Not some dramatic overnight transformation at all, but in a way that is gentle and intentional and sustainable. Here are 3 places to begin. 1, slow down. Slow down long enough to hear yourself again. Most people don't lose themselves overnight. It happens slowly because we stop checking in with ourselves. One of the most powerful things you could do is simply create space. Time without noise, time without obligation, just time to ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I want more in my life? This is why self-care is more about just bubble baths. It's about awareness. 2, reconnect with what makes you feel alive. When people reconnect with their power, it's often through creativity, curiosity, and joy. Things like creating, moving your body, building something meaningful, reconnecting with your intuition. For me, it's where my candles started coming into place. It's living with intention, slowing down, setting energy up for yourself, and living with creativity in mind. 3, start making aligned choices. Reclaiming yourself doesn't mean blowing up overnight. It starts with small decisions. Speaking up when something doesn't feel right, protecting your time, and choosing things that nourish you. Slowly shaping entire new lives. So if you've been feeling like you've lost yourself lately, I want you to know something. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're simply at a moment where life is inviting you to reconnect with who you really are now. And sometimes that journey of rediscovering yourself becomes the most powerful chapter in your life. Now, if this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, where have you had a moment where you realized you needed to come back to yourself? And if you're interested in conversations about feminine power, self-care, mindset, and intentional living, make sure you subscribe, because this channel is really about one thing: helping women remember who they are and what they're capable of. And I'm really excited to build this space with you.